Hello, Rohit. How have you been?
Hello, Vikramji. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for inviting me
Good,
for this
good to,
call.
yeah, good to know about that. So, as we discussed today, our conversation will revolve around your experience of coaching.
Yes.
So, the first question that obviously comes when we talk about coaching is what is it that was happening in your life when you were thinking of coming into my coaching program?
Okay. So I'll cut the story short because there is a lot that we have covered in last 4 or 5 years. So
Right.
back then when I got into your ecosystem, I was trying to become, I was into coaching space, but there was no coaching experience that I was having. I had
Uh-huh.
no clarity of thought as to what actually coaching is. For
Uh-huh.
me, coaching was earlier just giving advices like we used to give in college with friends. But what actually coaching is, I got to know when I got in touch with you and when I got into your ecosystem, so to say.
Uh-huh.
So there was no lack of, there was no clarity, there was no straight away path as to what should we do as
Uh-huh.
a coach and what things we can do as a coach and how we can actually leverage the term coaching
Uh-huh.
uh, to make the actual transformation in people's lives.
Okay. So this is about the professional path that you thought of choosing at that time and you eventually went into. Anything that you would
Yes.
like to share about that was happening in your personal life that was kind of becoming a challenge for you?
I'll say there were many because as a coach back then, I was trying to figure out so many things by my own. I had no one who I was reaching out to for help. So it was me solo trying to find out the solutions to all the problems that I was having. Again, there were issues with my parents, family members, and with myself as well.
Uh-huh.
So there was a lot that was going within because again I had to prove something
Right.
to the people around me because uh, I was breaking the pattern or I was breaking the chain of me being a computer engineer and not going for the regular 9 to 5 job and choosing this space, which is something very different
Right.
in my entire family, so to say. So there was a lot of pressure that was kind of was going through because again I had to, as I mentioned, I had to prove to myself and again to prove them that oh
Right.
yes, I am on the right path that I have chosen and not to go for the 9 to 5.
So I really like the way that you shared, Rohit. It's not easy to talk about these things in front of others because why I'm saying others because ultimately this video will go out to larger audience. That
Yes.
there was something that was going within which was bothering you. Then the desire to prove, I think that becomes a challenge for many people in their lives. And I think you said that. Rather than regular 9 to 5 job being a computer engineer, don't talk about your family. I think in the entire setup of computer engineers, I am sure you will be maybe one of those to be counted on fingers who have chosen a very different path. So I really
Yes.
appreciate and acknowledge that. So
Thank you.
great, thanks for sharing that. So what is it that encouraged you to join me, my ecosystem, as the term that you used, or ultimately coming into the space of one-to-one coaching? That's what is definitely very important to share.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, Vikramji, that I was having no one that I could talk to and I could reach out to. And as far as I remember, we met in a similar space in a group coaching session in a community. And when you shared some of your experiences and when I shared some of my experience, I'm like, okay, maybe you are also in the similar space of career coaching. And maybe I was also, back then, I was putting myself into a space of career coaching. I'm like, okay, maybe this person has a lot more experience than I have in career coaching. So maybe why not reach out to him and seek his expertise, his guidance, and learn from his experiences, rather than me trying to figure out all things by my own
Right.
as a fresher, whereas I have the leverage, I have the access to a person who has a lot more experience than I have in the same space.
Okay.
So that's when I kind of reached out to you, and that's how the journey started. And
Uh,
it's been, we are in 2025 right now. It's been more than 4 years, and I'm just grateful for the last 4 years of journey that uh, I have shared with you.
Right. Thanks for again bringing it up. So, you use the term career coaching. So you are into career coaching yourself, but slightly differently.
Yeah,
And when I talk about career coaching, I generally interact with executives who are working in corporates, 9 to 5 jobs, not 9 to 5 as it typically happens,
yeah,
but yes, they're regular jobs.
correct.
But your path was very different in terms that you wanted to set up your own system, your own, so to say, business.
Yes.
So, how do you find that different in terms of my approach to you, that coaching regular people who are in the jobs and you being a person who wants to set up a business? What was the difference that you experienced?
I'll say so. Having that noise that everyone, I mean, we call it shiny object syndrome. There were so many opportunities back then that that were coming up on our feeds. Oh, this is the way that you set up your business. Oh, this is the way that you set up your business. I'm I was just questioning like, okay, what is the real way to set up a business? Because everyone is trying to say, oh, this is the next big thing, this is the next big thing. But when we started interacting, I mean, it just come down to the basics.
Right,
Building a business is, again, the tools may change, but the process remain the same.
right,
So today we are having Zoom. Tomorrow maybe there's something that might else come up,
right, right,
so that we are interacting.
right.
So the tools may change, but again, the foundation, I mean, the principles of coaching, that's something that I learned, and that I guess if a person just follow the principles of coaching in itself, uh, he or she will be able to just accelerate themselves.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, focusing on the principles, doing it step by step, just
All
helps
right,
a lot.
all right. So, if I ask you, Rohit, what were the 2, 3 key turning points that you had in conversation with me in my sessions, in our sessions actually?
Yeah.
So, what will they be?
One is the raft, I'll say.
Uh-huh.
The raft film that you talk about, that everything that we are doing so far is again a combination of our thoughts, feelings, and actions that we are
Uh-huh.
taking. That's the combined result that we are experiencing. And again, the second one would be, again, as I mentioned, keep things simple. Don't try to overcomplicate, because I was a person who was assuming too much.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
this
I
person
love.
might,
Right.
because I was like, okay, this person might be thinking this about me, and this person might be feeling this about, this is something that I did. So I was assuming a lot on my own. But, and again, the next, in addition to this assuming, is again, I was too quick to react to situations
Uh-huh.
and people.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
If a person says something like, okay, इसको, I mean, इसको आंसर देना होगा अभी.
Ah, right.
But when we started interacting, you're like, okay, instead of just reacting, just take a pause. Take a 5 second pause, 10 second pause. Don't be in a too hurry to just give a response or react to situations. So that thing, I guess, that quite played a huge role in where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, I mean, there are situations where people say something to me, but right now, it's not something that I'm reacting quickly. I might just stay silent. I'll not say anything. The person is just, he's thinking or she's thinking, Why does he not saying something? And I'm like, okay, I'll give you a response maybe later on, but not right now.
Right, right.
So that pause has helped me in saving so many relationships and so many networks, I'll say, connections, I'll say.
Uh-huh,
So that pause has helped me a lot. And again, listening, not to react or not to respond, but to actually listen to people and just
uh-huh.
give them the space that they need.
Right,
Because earlier I was listening to react. Okay, if a person is saying, no, okay, he will ask me a question, I'll answer quickly.
right,
I'm like, okay, but I'm actually not listening what the
right,
person is
right.
actually.
True, true, true,
So
true.
that pause, that listening, that quite has played a huge role.
So here I'm observing that you are taking pause even before you start to answer my question also. You're not jumping to answer to that. That's also means it's evident. I would like you to share a little more about that assumptions part that you mentioned a little while back, because I understand that in our lives, if we are driven by assumptions, there's a lot of negative decisions that we end up taking. So,
Yes.
can you share a little more about your dealing with your assumptions and how it helped?
So, okay, I'll share one instance.
Mhm.
So there was this one conversation that I was having, and that was a common pattern that if I see it right now, that was a common pattern. I'll have a conversation, I'll hold a space for the person. I will share, okay, from my experience, I'll share few insights. Okay, this can help. And sometimes I'm too blunt in saying something, okay, you are wrong at this, you should do things like
Right.
that way. Okay, we ended the conversation, and after just 5 minutes after the conversation, I'm like, okay, that person might be feeling bad about what
Mhm.
I just said. So I'm assuming
Uh-huh.
this thing. And I kept on assuming, I'm like, okay. And then I'll say, I'm sorry, Vikramji, I said that thing to you in the call.
Mhm.
And the other person was like, no, Rohit, that's completely okay. It actually helped me. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Uh,
Rohit, why are you so assuming so much? So
right.
what I changed after started interacting with you is after every single conversation that I was having, I started actually asking the other person, how are you actually feeling after the
Uh-huh.
call? Instead
Uh-huh.
of me assuming that person might
Uh-huh.
be feeling this,
Uh-huh.
I started asking, okay,
Uh-huh.
what were your key insights? What actually helped? And the person might say, oh, Rohit, that helped me. I'm like, okay, but I didn't meant it that
Right.
way, but you took it that way. So amazing.
Right.
So
Right.
that asking the person straight away instead of just assuming change the entire game.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful. You're telling stories also in this conversation, actual stories that you experience with people. Great. So, if you have to recommend to people that they need to go for coaching, what would your reasons be? So, here I'm not saying that coaching with Vikram, I'm
Yeah.
saying coaching in general. Why shall anyone go for coaching?
Okay. So if you are someone who's listening to this interview right now, either you are having some challenges or either you are having some goals
Right,
and you need help with either of them. You have clarity of goals or you need help with clarity of choosing that goal for yourself. If you have someone, great. If not, look for a person whom you think you are able to resonate.
right,
Because a coach will not only just share his experience, he will help you walk through that journey with you. So a coaching or a coach, I'll say, can be anybody. It's not just a person who has done any certification. It can be anyone who can help you. It could be a friend, your family
right,
members, or a coach or mentor that you see online who's sharing
Right.
their journeys, who are
Right.
sharing their experiences. So a coach will walk the journey with you, and he's not just there to share their experiences. It's there to actually help you unfold your true potential and
Uh-huh.
achieve the goals that you have and overcome the obstacles and the challenge that you have.
Right. Very interesting and insightful, with a lot of pauses in between, so to say. Yeah. So
That has
thanks.
become part of my life so far.
I'm sure, in fact, when you say it has become part of life, it's for good, because the pause actually changes everything.
Yeah,
Uh, if I have to say about pause, my way of looking at it is pause brings your thinking back.
correct.
Otherwise, it's a short circuit which is happening or likely to happen. But pause brings
Correct.
your thinking mind back, that, okay, you are processing the information, you are absorbing the information, and that changes the game entirely.
Correct.
So, thank you, Rohit, so much for the conversation. And I'm sure anyone who listens to you will find it useful to find a coach. If they connect with me, obviously that will be great. I'll be happy
Yes.
to support and help people. But anyone they would like to go to, that will be useful. I'm I am promoting coaching more than I'm promoting myself.
Yes.
Thanks,
Yes.
thanks, Rohit, for this conversation, and we'll connect
Thank
again.
you so much. Thank you so much, Vikramji. Thank you.